Hey Rebels, I'm out enjoying the Florida sunshine that I wanted to introduce our next clip for this week's Tuesday Rebels. We are finishing up our talk on publishing misconceptions, and today we're going to focus on what the misconceptions are once you get a book deal.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
We were talking before about, your misconceptions with the submission process, but also there's that whole idea that once you sell to an editor, that you're going to be in constant contact with everybody and that your book will kick into gear as soon as the sale happens. You'll be hearing from your publisher, your editor, your publicist. Everybody's going to be hopping on that book the next day.
Right, and the truth is that you'll hear from us when we have something to tell you, when we have news. And it's okay to check in, but you don't want to check in so much that you start driving us crazy.
And believe me, that's your temptation because you're so excited that you want to keep the momentum of that excitement going. But there's a long period of time where there's silence. You make the sale and you have this wonderful phone call with your editor, usually where they tell you how much they love the book, which is so awesome to get. But then really there's silence for a long period of time because quite honestly, your book doesn't come out for probably at least a year and a half to 2 years. And so there are other books in the queue before yours, and so you have to wait your turn. But you can't freak out about that. You're coming and they're going to get to you, but they have to take care of somebody else first.
And speaking of hurry up and wait, that's what the editorial process is a lot like too, because you think that now that you're a published writer and you know that all of your work is worth it, you're going to be able to write more easily, you're going to have all this time. But the truth is that now the pressure's on. And a lot of people get sophomoritis and they psych themselves out and they have a very difficult time doing that next book. And you can't do that. You can't psych yourself out. You just have to write it and revise it and polish it just as much as you would that first novel. You're still trying to impress, and you're still trying to give the best work possible. And I think that some authors lose sight of that. But it can be difficult anyway because you're not just writing the new book, but you're getting, just as you get going on that, you get revisions on the last book, or you get copy edits or page proofs, or any number of stages. You're looking at the book until you're so tired of seeing that book it's ridiculous before it gets to the publication stage, and all of those stages interrupt your work in progress.
And what she's not going to say, but I'm going to totally admit, is that as an author, you're going to basically spend all your time looking at your cover, checking out Goodreads to see how many readers have put it on their to-read list or must-have list, and you're going to compare it to other debut authors. You're going to be looking up everything you can find on the internet that mentions your book to see if people are already talking about it, and you'll spend tons of time just daydreaming about when it comes out because it's like Christmas for writers, right? And so it's really hard to focus.
But don't let them get to you, because obviously there is a lot of an amazing stuff in that novel, or it wouldn't have gotten to the point that it was. And you can't please all of the people all of the time, unless maybe you're Suzanne Collins. But short of that, I guess what we're saying here is that it's a complicated process. There are ups and downs and highs and lows and fasts and slows, but you just have to persevere.
And I think you also have to know that it's a job at the end of the day. It's a business like any other. And so on some level, for your own sanity, you have to treat it as a career, in that there is a business aspect to it. And that part will never be totally in your control. And you can't make it fit into your control or just, do 3 somersaults to somehow get you to wherever you think you should be. It's a business, and sometimes it's harsh and sometimes it's cruel. But it's also the reality of the world. Every business is that way. And you either decide that you want it badly enough to deal with those harsh realities, or you don't. And you go do something else and be happy. So you know that you want to write when you can overcome all of these things. And misconceptions, realities, or whatever, nothing will sway you because you want to do it no matter what.
And from 2 people in the business, we can say it's totally worth it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, thank you. Thank you for staying with us. And we
Yeah.
hope that this enlightened you a little bit on the publishing process.
And if there's anything you want us to cover, we can always do a part 3 and cover anything that you put in the comments. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.